Hi, I'm Marianne, a mum and business owner living here in Scotland.
And I'm Emily, her daughter, figuring out life, love, and career chaos while living in Dubai.
Welcome to the Distance Diaries. This is where we catch up on everything: family wins, career curveballs, the messy moments, and the hilarious bits in between.
Every week, we share honest, funny, and sometimes emotional conversations about staying connected no matter where life takes us.
So grab a cuppa and join us, because staying close doesn't have to be complicated.
Let's dive right in. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Distance Diaries.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! How are we all? So today's episode, it's the week of love.
Love is in the air. If you like that kind of thing, well, we're going to find out, aren't we, Emily?
If you like that kind of thing, love isn't a kink.
Isn't a kink. I'm thinking more Valentine.
Yeah, Valentine. That is.
I'm thinking ahead on love, because we're nearly at Valentine's Day.
We are. It's just round the corner.
So we're going to talk all things love and Valentine's today. Is that what's on the menu for the Distance Diaries?
We are, because we're on totally different sides of the table in a lot of ways. I am young and single, very, very single. Well, we're in different generations. Sorry, different generations.
I am young.
Capital
Thanks for that.
And
you're younger than I am.
I'm younger than you, different generation from you, and I am incredibly single and will have a totally different experience of Valentine's Day from you, who is married, who has been married twice.
I have.
So you have a lot of experiences with Valentine's Days, good and bad.
You're about to find out which one wins on that.
I know. So for Valentine's, for me, probably I've been in relationships, but for me, it's always just been Galentines. Like this year, it's all Galentines. That's my Valentine's, is my friends.
Do you know, I've never ever heard that until you told me before we came on.
Really? Galentines? Do you know, somebody else said that? I said to somebody else this week, oh, I'm having a Galentine's this weekend. And they were like, what's that? And I was like, gals, Valentine's, celebrate it with the girls.
Never heard of it in my Nelly Pufter.
No, but Valentine's is all about celebrating love. And I love my friends, so.
Well, you always talk about, what is it you call it? Not platonic.
Yeah.
It is platonic love.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's that girlfriend love that you have. So Galentine's makes sense, but I've still never heard the word or used it in my life. But I will now.
Well, you can have a Galentine's with your pals. It's not just for people who are single. It's for everyone.
Well, I kind of am having a kind of Galentine's / Valentine's, because I'm going out for Valentine's with my girlfriend and her husband.
What, third wheeling?
What does that mean?
Third wheeling? Like you're the third person in a relationship, like you're third wheeling on a date?
No, I'll be fourth wheeling because Paul will be with me.
Oh, well, then you're not Galentine's and then you're just going on a double date?
No.
Yeah.
But we're going out for Valentine's though with my girlfriend and her husband.
Yeah, so a double date on Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Galentine's is for the gals.
Okay, I was just trying to get in on the action.
Our Galentine's, like, there's people coming that are married and have boyfriends, but no boys allowed, it's for the gals.
Okay, right, I'm not doing that then.
No, so
I'm going out on a double date on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
With my girlfriend and my husband. Hiya, Maureen. Hiya, Gordon.
Oh, it's Maureen and Gordon. Hi, Maureen. Hi, Gordon. I was going to say, double dating on Valentine's Day is a wee bit, it sounds like you just don't want to go on a date, like the two of you. So it's like when couples are older and they go on cruises with their pals because they just can't stand each other.
Don't say that, because Gordon and Maureen are just back from a cruise.
With their pals?
With their pals.
Well.
Oopsie.
Who knows? You heard it here first.
That is so funny.
Only joking. Maureen and Gordon are lovely.
They are, but I'm looking forward to that because we've been working really hard, and I'm looking forward to just being able to say tools down, have a nice night, um, and just enjoy the evening with them, which will be really fun.
Oh
Because we don't really do we've never really, Paul and I have never really celebrated Valentine's Day.
no, as far
Um,
as I can remember, and I don't really remember you as like making a day of it.
nah, and even with your dad, we never really celebrated Valentine's Day.
I
I
don't
think I just married men who weren't very good at it.
see. This is like obviously love Paul, love my dad, but I always, if my friend said to me, "Oh, my boyfriend says he doesn't do Valentine's Day," I'd
Mm,
say, "Fuck." Oh,
really should.
I'd say,
Really fucking should.
"Fucking dump him." What?
I would have said, right, I used to have this story of, okay, it's just commercialism and it's love should be every day and all of that crap, right? But actually, if you can't just pull out all the stops on one day, and it's there, it's structured for you. The whole world is like egging you on and giving you every bit encouragement, and you can't pull it off. That that's pretty sad.
Like, come on! Like, it's really not difficult. A bunch of flowers, a card,
Yeah.
chocolates, or take you out for dinner, or at least cook you a special dinner at home. It's so simple. It's ridiculous.
I know. Do you know something? See, just being able to get my tea made, being able to have somebody make my breakfast so I don't have to do it. Just doing stuff that I would maybe normally have to do, but just taking care of it. It doesn't have, it's not about money. Although a nice diamond would be nice, but
Well,
um, nice diamond's always nice. But no, it's not about that. It's about the thought. Actually, do you know what it is? It's about the effort.
aha.
I actually don't really think much of a bunch of flowers. I'm not really a bunch of flowers gal because I think central heating in Scotland kills them dead. And what effort is there? You pop along to Marks and Spencers if you're really splashing it out, pick up a bunch, get a card right from Paul and go Happy Valentine's. Zero effort.
Literally, even if you don't mean it.
And it's zero effort though. I would just go, oh, that's lovely, but my heart would be going, that's shit.
All right.
But I would say it's like,
No, it's like the one day a year, like yeah, you love each other all year round, but it's the one day a year where like you can get caught up in like life. So it's the one day a year you can just commit to each other. Like you have to tell each like not have to, but it's just a nice day to set aside just
yeah,
for yous.
I agree.
I think Valentine's is a really, really nice day. Like it is overly commercialized, but it is a good like wee checkpoint in the year to just spend time with each other.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I think it should be special. So at least this year we are going out because normally we wouldn't do a thing. And that's been a bit of reflection in the last year about just getting busy and getting a bit complacent, actually, especially when you're second marriage and a wee bit older. Actually, we should know bloody better than not to be nurturing a relationship in every single way possible. Um, so I'm going to have to fill you in next week as to how my Valentine's Day went.
Please don't.
No, no, okay.
Please don't. I'm sure you'll have a nice time.
I'm sure I will, but actually, I think it's founded in. Why do I think like that? I never, ever, ever saw my mum and dad celebrate Valentine's Day, ever. I never actually saw them really show any signs of affection. So it just, love just wasn't in my family DNA like that, like outwardly public expressions of love.
Yeah, I've never me either though. Like you and Dad or you and Paul have never been Valentine's outward. You're quite a lovely person, quite a touchy person naturally. But like on Valentine's Day, like even growing up, like my friends would get this isn't a boohoo me thing, but it's just like my friends would
But you're going to
get
do it anyway.
I'm gonna do it anyway. My friends would get like a Valentine's Day from their dad. Like their dad would always buy them a
Yeah.
Valentine's card and things, and we never had. Like, we never got that. Like, it was just never a thing. Yoo-hoo. Womp, womp, womp.
I know but the thing is, it's always that thing. I think back about lots of things about your childhood, and I think, oh, I wish I'd done that, and I wish I'd just not done other things and just taken time, just to do the little special things. Because when you reflect on the things that you still hold and are really deep memories for you, most of them are just like the tiniest little events that I didn't even know happened.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's all those tiny little things make up the magic. And I wish if I was to go back, I would do lots of tiny things. I think I'm doing that with the dogs at the moment.
Yeah, I can tell.
Because I don't have grandchildren from you yet. So I'm just building it up and practicing with the dogs.
Aye. Well, not for me for a while.
Well, what can I say? We're having a Galentine's.
We're having a Galentine. So on Valentine's Day, which is Friday, no
Yeah.
plans. Me and Caitlin will probably just do our usual Friday routine, chill, and then Saturday is for the girls. So pink, food, a wee
Mm-hmm.
prosecco, few
Mm-hmm.
games, just all for the girls.
So what's been your best Valentine's then? In your 25 years?
Do you know I've never had a. I was in a 4-year relationship and I've never had a Valentine's Day. I know that's my fault for letting that happen, but yeah. Worst
I'm not
Valentine.
surprised actually. I'm gasping, but it just adds to the list.
No, so the first time I should have had a Valentine's Day. Like first Valentine's, I've never experienced Valentine's. Never had it grown up. So, like, I wanted a Valentine's. I think it's a really nice day, and I was basically just told like I don't do Valentine's. Like that's so embarrassing. I don't do that. I says let's at least go for dinner or something. So I had to book the dinner. I arranged everything. And I was told, don't book it on actual Valentine's Day. Like, us going out for dinner on Valentine's Day, that's so embarrassing. That's so cringy. So I had to book it for the week after and I paid for it. Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
Brutal.
That is bad.
I know. And then the only other time I tried on Valentine's Day, I might not seem it at first, I don't know, but I am actually quite a lovey dovey, like, I am a really
Oh, she
affectionate
is.
person. I really am.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I made like a nice Valentine's box, got him like wee nice things, and I got him. Well, it was for both of us. It was like a activity. It was like one of these detective games. You had to like solve the mystery, and I think you might remember I bought us like the detective caps and mustaches.
Yeah, I
Do you remember
remember
that?
this. Yeah,
And basically we got it out, played it for like 5 minutes, and bored of
that
it,
was it.
couldn't be arsed anymore, and that was the end of it. So
Whereas, right, what did you learn? So if a guy turned around and did that now, what would you do?
that'd be it.
Dump him.
Yeah, it wouldn't even
So
get to
be
that
war.
point.
No, you would know, wouldn't you? You wouldn't put up with that shit.
No. And it's not as if, like, again, like, I've never received a bunch of flowers. I've never.
Wow.
No.
See, at least I can say I have. I've had bunches of flowers and cards. Um, I remember I was going out with somebody once in between, me and your dad getting divorced and meeting Paul, and he'd booked actually a weekend or an overnight in Glasgow. Now we live here, but it was fine. But do you know when you just knew it was what do you call it? What do they call those sites that you go on and you buy one?
Voucher
Um,
or
it
Groupon.
is on voucher. Uh-huh. So it was like a bit of a crummy room. So it was like room only and it felt I mean, it was a bit crummy. And then I remember I got uh chocolates, but he got me 4 Ferrero Rocher. That was it.
Oh. Oh, I mean, the
But
effort
it
was
wasn't
there.
I know, but do you know when you know somebody that is could and was absolutely able to do wow, but was tight.
Oh, so it could have, but it just
They would spend it on themselves, but they wouldn't really spend it on you.
yeah. No, that's
I
shite.
should have just got up and went, oh, do you know, this is shite. Let's just go up the road and I'll get some chips.
Yeah.
I remember, now I don't know if this was actually, I think your dad bought me a kettle once. And it gets worse because the kettle was beige, like a beige
See,
brown kettle.
I think that sounds nice, but
No, but it wasn't that kind of beige. It wasn't like 2025 beige. It was like bleh, beige, plastic kettle. But the big thing, the big sell was that cordless kettles had just come out. So I was younger than you are right now, and he bought me a kettle.
I
That
mean,
wasn't good.
it's more than I've
It
had,
was.
so you're doing well.
That's very true. I actually feel really grateful now. Paul once sent me a picture of some flowers.
That is more dumpable than not buying you flowers.
He sent me a picture of flowers. I'm not actually sure if that was that my Valentine's? I can't even remember. He done that. But like you, right, I'm going to come back to some commonality. I can't say that I've ever had a Valentine's that has blown me out the water. Do you know that I've just went, oh my God, it was amazing, and they couldn't have been more thoughtful, and they've really looked into it, and it was everything I wanted. I've not got that story. Does that story really exist?
Yeah, I see it around
Oh,
me all the time, like friends, blah blah blah. Like they get the flowers and the overnights and the real effort, and it sounds
right,
nice.
that's on my list then for I think I might have to make it for 2026. I think I might have left it too late for Friday. Because I know what my diary's like and I know what we've got scheduled. So maybe I'll get a photo of a bunch of flowers.
I'm sure he's got time to go buy a bunch of flowers.
I don't want flowers, but I'm not really a big flower person like that.
Or I'm sure he can book something, maybe not for Friday because you've got plans, but
I know
Groupon.
you know what you have to do. No, don't get him to get me Groupon again. I don't want to be voucher or it is on. What you need to do is give him a wee phone and say to him, "What are you doing for Valentine's Day for my mum?"
Turn
That's what
that
you need to
off.
do. I know it's. Do you know what it is? It's like it's been peeping all day because I'm transferring from Gmail to Outlook, and our PA is putting across all of my calendar into my other calendar, and it keeps beeping. So
Ooh.
if you hear it, that's what it is. Ooh, yeah. So you have to give Paul a wee phone, but don't tell him. Nobody tell him. Right? We had this conversation.
I think he might tomorrow when he listens to it.
He does. He always listens to Distance Diaries in the car
Well,
when he's on his
Paul,
own.
this is for you. Listen very carefully. No Groupon, no voucher. Book a nice
But
dinner. Cook her a dinner, even better, even more effort. Don't ask her
mhm.
questions whilst you're cooking the dinner on how to use any appliances or where any pots and pans are. Just fucking cook the dinner. Get a nice dessert and buy her a bunch of flowers, even though she says she doesn't like flowers. Buy her flowers and write her a nice card. Go
Okay.
M&S. Do it. Get the Valentine's meal deal.
Oh, I see. I quite like an M&S Valentine's meal deal.
Easy, nice steak, a wee dessert, some flowers
I
and a
quite
nice
like
card.
that. Yeah, I quite like that. Could be a wee Saturday night.
There you go.
Yeah, and then pop downstairs to the pub for a drink.
Yeah, there. Paul sorted.
There we go. Sorted. Sorted. And then next year you can take me on a cruise. So,
No bother.
when you've got a wee bit more notice. So, what has been, I don't know, I think you've told me your worst because that was bad. Mm,
Have I had a
I think the only way is up.
The only way is up. I mean, it can't get any worse.
Hmm.
The best Valentines are always with the girls. Everything's better with the girls, so like you never feel like you're missing out on anything. I don't
No,
feel like I'm missing out on anything.
no, you're really settled. It's just like having the best friendship group and um, nice apartment, nice car, nice sunshine, beautiful friends.
I know,
Do you
like
know, it doesn't get much better.
with Caitlin, like it's like having a relationship. The way that we
Aye.
live, like I was away for work in Saudi over the weekend, and the weekends are our time. Like we love our weekends, and the whole time it was like, oh, I miss you, wish you were here. What you up
Oh,
to? Miss you. Like the way you would
aye.
in a relationship.
It's a really special friendship. It truly is a special friendship. And that's a lovely thing to be able to not just experience, but be able to share. I mean, I feel so much better knowing that you two are together over there, um, living together. Well, even though you live in different apartments, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're such a big part of each other's life. So, anyway, on the story of love, because we're diverging, is what kind of love advice, even though you're in a kind of gal love kind of place, what kind of love advice would you give to your 18-year-old self?
Oh, a lot. A lot, a lot, a lot. I would say um it's not the end of the world. It's not the end goal to be in a relationship. So don't jump into the first thing that gives you eye contact for longer than 5 seconds.
You can tell you're not in a guy space because you describe it as don't jump into the first thing.
Thing.
You mean guy?
I don't want to say jump into the first guy.
Well, that's very true. That doesn't sound very good, does
Don't
it?
don't do that either.
But do you not think that I think when I look back, I was always, I suppose there's a cultural expectation that was around me that I had to get married and I had to find a fella. And so I wouldn't be complete until I'd fulfilled that expectation. Um, and it would be something wrong with me if I didn't do it within a kind of time frame, was back then as well. And actually, that there'd be something wrong with me if I didn't. So it comes back to how you value yourself. And I ended up tolerating things in relationships that now I would just be like, get lost, nutter. Do you know,
Yeah.
there's no way I would tolerate that nonsense. But I didn't, the problem wasn't them. The problem was that I didn't value myself first, because you can't really contribute to a relationship and give someone else the fullness of your love and value if you don't do the same loving and value back to yourself.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
That's
Because I
totally
think about you and you didn't value yourself, and that's why you let um, somebody just like not do Valentine's Day and stuff
I know what
when
you were
you wanted
trying
it.
not to say there.
I did have a wee name for him, but I don't want to say it in
No,
public.
we won't name names in case anybody gets upset. Not that anybody will
Wasn't
be listening to this, but
It's just me and you chuckling away at ourselves.
um,
Yeah, so the love advice would be it's not the be all and end all. And think about yourself first and what is it you want to fulfill in your life, and what type of person do you need to be to fulfill that ambition for yourself.
yeah, and
Um,
never lose yourself. I totally
mm,
lost myself, and I was trying so hard to please somebody else and be this person that I thought I had to be for this person to love me and to stay with me, and I had to, go to the ends of the earth to make them happy. And if something wasn't right, I always thought, oh, is it me? Is it something I've said, something I've done?
yeah,
Is it the way I look?
mm,
Am I not doing enough for you? And it's never that. Like you can't change anyone, and you're
no,
only just going to absolutely destroy yourself trying to do it. And life is good. Like you're
yeah,
you're so fine. You're so fine
yeah,
on your own.
yeah.
You
But we're
don't.
not brought up to do that.
No, you don't need it. You don't need to settle for it
No.
ever.
And in some ways, you would have seen that, modelled that actually, because I did exactly the same. I didn't have a very good I didn't have an awful upbringing. It was a bit traumatic. Do you know, I wasn't like surrounded in abundance of love, in the way that I was wanting to receive it. Let's just put it that way. And so I went from uh, the family that construct that I didn't really want into a family that I thought was what I wanted. But I really went from the frying pan into the fire
Yeah.
in lots of ways, do you know? And then you end up, then you have kids, and then you end up staying in that position. And the thing is, see, once I divorced your dad and went back out dating, I just made the same mistakes all over again. I didn't actually give myself any space between relationships to just be on my own, because I was jumping into all I knew, and that was being in a relationship.
Yeah.
And I see that a lot with girls, other women, you know, just bouncing out of one and right into another, and shouting their undying love. But you're actually watching them compromising themselves, not valuing themselves, you know, persecuting, overgiving, all of these things. And I remember dating someone, and it was the one moment I just went, do you know something? You might tick all these boxes, but piss off. I'm not putting up with this. It's, you know, for me, and I'm just going to stand and say no.
Yeah.
And they didn't like it. Well, they didn't really like their ego getting bashed like that. Um, and I did have these urges just to go back and fix it because I wanted it all to be perfect, but I stuck by my guns, and that was the best thing I ever did. That
Yeah.
was a big lesson,
I have this
because I'd never been
idea.
taught that.
Yeah, there's this idea of how we want love to be and how we want it to feel and how we want to be treated. So when you do start getting into a relationship with somebody, you want it so desperately to be how you want it to be or how you've seen it to be that you'll do
Yeah,
anything to try and make it that way.
yeah. And you end up being a fixer. So you end up meeting people, taking on people that need rescuing,
Oh yeah.
and you're going to rescue and transform, and it's everybody's going to clap like a seal at you, and actually you'll never change anybody. The only person you have control over is yourself. And trying to change somebody will just mean that you'll compromise everything about yourself. And I like the way you described it as you lost yourself. And I'm sure there's loads of people listening to this that would resonate with just losing their own identity and never giving themselves a chance to find out what that is.
Totally.
Um, and it's scary doing that, because the moment you start doing it, you start to evolve and change all the time. And that can be scary. But I'd have that any day of the week
Yeah.
compared to all. I just wish I'd learned it a lot quicker than I did. Do you know?
But I
I
could
wish
say
I'd
the
learned
same.
it
I
a lot
wish I did as
quicker.
well. Like, and I've,
Aye,
but you need to do it. I think everybody
and you've
has
got
that.
30 years on me. So you're winner, winner, chicken dinner.
I know, I'm doing well.
And I also think as well, though, that you've got a different advantage, because I actually hear other women my age making comments like to their daughters about wanting grandchildren, about them not being married, about, oh, she's still not met anybody. Do you know, it's all of that, or them wanting to keep them at home. Oh, I don't want her to go away, or my life would fall apart, and all that. And I just think, oh my God, what are you saying? What are you saying? Whereas you say to me, I don't know if I'll ever marry. And I go, oh, well, let's get a dog. Do you know,
Yeah.
I have no need for you. Well, I love it when you come home. I just so love it when you come home. But you've always been raised with fly, baby, fly. My job is to help you just fly. And my job is to make sure that I'm not ever dependent on your existence. I have to be able to stand on my own 2 feet. And if you have a relationship and have children, that's great. My only source is that you are abundantly happy in the best way that you can be for your life. That's it.
Yeah. I never understand when people are in relationships and they're so unhappy and have no idea who they are. Like, I can only imagine, like, based on my experiences, like, I remember feeling like I don't know who I am outside of this. That's why I was so desperate to cling on to it all the time, because I thought I don't know
Yeah.
how to live life without trying to please this person, without, you know, chasing
Mhm.
this thing. Without that, I've got nothing. Is was kind of my thoughts. And
Yeah.
even though I would lie in bed at night thinking, I can't do this anymore. Like I'm so miserable. You'd wake up the next day and still be like, oh, like what can I do? What can I do? Like,
It's mad saying it now because you are so away from that. Do you know, you're just, but the thing is, I think that happened to you a couple of times actually when you were younger.
yeah,
And but it kept, I believe things keep repeating in your life until you learn. And until you learn, the universe, spirit, whatever you think it is, will keep giving you those scenarios back until you learn to get through it. And once it happens, you go, oh my God, why didn't I do that sooner? But you couldn't. You're exactly where you need to be right now.
yeah,
And it's just the way it is. Do you
yeah,
know? So I'm always grateful when I know that I've moved through something, because there's been times when I've been stuck, I mean, in relationships for years, and it can be really easy to just regret everything. But actually, I'm always grateful that we were able to move through. And it's even like when it comes to relationships ending or divorce or anything like that. For me, I have no regrets at all about like marrying your dad. I had three beautiful children and we actually had some really nice times. And it's like friendship. Do you know how they say, what's that saying? Sometimes it lasts for a season or a
reason, season,
reason.
lifetime.
Yeah. And if it lasts for a lifetime, how beautiful is that? I mean, beautiful. If it's the right relationship for the lifetime. And if it lasts for a season, then that's beautiful. Take all the goodness from it and put your focus on to remembering and valuing that and learn from everything else to make you a better person.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. So definitely a bit of my view would be love self first, because then you will be the person that will attract the love that you're looking for.
yeah, I agree. Do everything
Yeah,
for
that's
you.
what I would do.
That's
Hmm.
one thing I've learned. Like, there's so many things that I wouldn't be doing now if I was still in that cycle. So do
Yeah,
everything for you. Go if you want to go travel, go travel. If you want to cut your hair because that's what makes you happy.
yeah,
If you want,
definitely.
do whatever you want to do, and the right person will come along at the right time and support everything you're doing for the right reasons.
Absolutely. And they'll love you because you travel and you cut your hair.
And they'll love you because you say no,
Yeah.
because you
Oh, it's
say,
lovely. That's a powerful thing. When somebody just says, no, I'm doing something else, or no, I'm going somewhere else. And you think, oh, you have to be so self assured and confident to do that. And that shows real leadership.
yeah. I had a
That's a bit
conversation.
of turn on.
Yeah, I had a conversation with my friends the other week, and they were saying, like, you know, there's this girl who she's just away. She's going away to, I don't know, like Asia or something for like 3 months traveling
Mhm,
with her pals, but she's in a relationship.
mhm.
And they were like, but how can she just go away for that amount of time and just like leave him? And I was like, fucking amazing. Like, absolutely, she should go and do that because that's what she wants to do.
Yeah. And if that relationship is right, then it will stand the test of that and their relationship will be stronger for that space apart, that they can both stand on their own 2 feet. And there isn't an interdependence. There isn't well, it's not interdependence, because interdependence is really good.
Cool.
That's when you're just codependence. There isn't a codependence between them. But getting to a place of interdependence where you are there thinking, how can I what can I do to help this person be the best person that they can be for themselves?
Yeah.
And and that needs you to value yourself to be able to do that for someone else.
Yeah.
And that's I'm really lucky that I have experienced that in my life, and that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think, and it's in all different types of relationships. I'm not a quantity girl. I know lots of people, right? But you know that I have a very small circle of closeness, and that's the way I like it. And I've always been like that. But when you've got such a close circle, it's really beautiful. And you and your sister have really stepped into that circle of friendship as you've got older, that it's so lovely to be so in love and be so loved by people like my children, that you can just flow in the love that you have for each other and the way that you communicate.
Yeah.
There's nothing I would have to think about saying twice to you, do you know, or worrying about how I would say it or showing my vulnerability or anything. It's just a completely safe, loving space that you both show such wisdom and sensitivity to me, which is really beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love you very much
Oh,
on this Valentine week,
love you.
gal.
Gal. My gal.
Oh, that was quite sweet. I was going to talk about love language, but I think I'll no bother.
No, I think we know.
I think the language of love.
Language of love. That's
Mhm.
complex. There's a whole thing on that. Like, if somebody's love language is this, like it's like star signs. Like
Mm-hmm.
two love languages can't.
Is that right?
Yeah, like if both your love languages are the same thing, it's not going to work because
Oh,
only one person
that's
can
interesting.
service. Because like if both languages were like gift giving, for example,
Yeah,
like one person loves to give a gift, but if they're getting gifts back, they want to give like I want to give the gift, like
yeah,
then
that
it
makes
just gets
sense, doesn't it?
frustrating.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh well. Anyway, I think we've got quite. I'm very grateful today for all the love that I have in my life.
Me too.
And I'm grateful that for this year, 2025, I am going to celebrate Valentine's Day. And I'll make sure that Paul listens to this before Friday.
Yes. Listen, Paul.
Listen, Paul.
Well, I am.
But I also have to listen, though. I'm going to have to put my wee thinking hat on for him.
That's a topic. What about buying guys presents on Valentine's Day?
I think that's a harder one because I think women are just so much easier.
Is Valentine's Day just for the girls?
No, I think Valentine's Day is for the boys.
So how do you show love to them on Valentine's Day? I knew you were gonna. You just made a face if you're not watching. Keeping
I
it
was like, what's
PG.
their priority? Eh?
Keeping it PG. How do you show
Keeping it PG.
a guy love and effort on Valentine's Day?
I think again it's just through effort.
But if he's
But
making,
that's because that's the type of person I have in my life that would recognise the value of effort. I'm not married to somebody who would be having a hissy fit if I got them a jacket and it wasn't Ralph Lauren. Do you know what I mean?
I know, but do we buy guys like you don't buy a guy a bunch of flowers? Well, you could if you like flowers, but
I don't know what. For me, it's about what experience can you create for them.
he's creating
So,
you
like,
an
I know.
experience.
I
Like,
suppose it is thinking about what do I want to do.
yeah, because like he's making you a cup of tea in the morning. He's making you dinner. He's buying you flowers.
But is it not that could you see if I had a day where you were just so richly mindful of one another, that you just made the effort to notice, that you made the effort to do at every single moment, that you made the effort to say you look great or kiss them on the forehead or just take their hand for a flickering moment as you pass them in the hall or tell them they're appreciated or watch your wedding video or whatever it is.
I suppose, like, if he's doing all this for you, that's like him feeling the love if you're receiving it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so that means we don't have to do anything. We just need to be very grateful for them.
So Valentine's is for the girls.
Yeah, so let's just say Valentine's is for the girls stuff, the old guy thing. Yeah, it's for us. And then we can just tell them how great they are. Then they feel great. And then everybody's happy.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
that is so funny. So, my learning from today, I now know the word Galentine. So gals, have a great time on Friday if you're out celebrating Galentine. I deeply value you because I know I value me, and I love you very much. And I am going to appreciate every single worst Valentine that I've ever had because it taught me lots. And I am going to just assume that no matter what I got and how it was delivered with the best intention.
I was going to second that. Maybe not the last part, but I'm going to just appreciate it. Lessons learned, and it always gives me a funny story to tell on Valentine's to the gals.
It does.
It's a win-win.
And I think you've held back, by the way. We'll have to have a Valentine's part 2 when Emily gets confident to actually tell more.
God, we could be here all week. Me and
Be
Caitlin
here all
sit
night.
sometimes, and there's just wee things that spark up a memory, and I'll say, "Oh, there was this thing." She goes, "Another thing."
No. Do you know, I think we should actually let everybody hear Caitlin's wee voice one day on the Distance Diaries, because they're going to think that she's your imaginary friend.
I know, she does
I
actually
think we
exist.
should get Caitlin on a video and go into the Distance Diaries Facebook group.
Yeah, let's get
And
Caitlin
let
on.
everybody meet Caitlin. So if you want to meet Caitlin, go to the Distance Diaries Facebook group, ask to join in, and this week we'll get Caitlin on a video so that everybody can meet Caitlin and that she is a real person.
The Caitlin. I know, she'll be our
The
first
Caitlin.
guest.
Yeah. Well, I think that's us. I have to go and actually record another podcast tonight.
All right, off you go.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Because we did it. No, it's with Paul because we launched one last week. So we have to record one tonight. And it's great fun. So I get to sit and speak to you for, oh God, this is a long one, 40 minutes. And then I'll get to do another wee half hour sitting chatting to him.
How lovely.
And then I think I'll have pizza. So that's my night.
Oh, yum. Well, enjoy your Valentine's, whatever you're doing, whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're married. Make sure you do something a wee bit more special than you would. And you're always loved, regardless of your relationship status.
We love you.
We love you.
We love you. Yeah. So go forth, have an amazing week, have an amazing Valentine's. Let us know what you get up to, if it's something more exciting than we're doing. And we will see you back here, same time, same place, every single Wednesday, 7 a.m. release here at the
Distance Diaries.
Yay! See you next week, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for spending time with us on the Distance Diaries.
We hope you laughed, maybe learned something, and most importantly, felt a little more connected.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs a little connection too.
And join us on Instagram and TikTok at the Distance Diaries podcast for sneak peeks, behind the scenes fun, and much more.
We'll see you next week, same time, same place.
Until then, stay connected, no matter the miles.